This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some big update to share with you. There could be another chance for the Build Back Better as Joe Manchin's bipartisan talks fall apart because Republicans fear Joe Manchin wants to work more with the Democrats than the Republicans. I'll give you more details on that. President Biden admits that food and gas prices are not going down anytime soon, and I'll give you the Republican perspective of what President Biden should be doing better. Also, gas prices or gas tax holiday has just been approved in one new state, and I'll give you the full list of all the other states giving a gas tax holiday. $350 inflation check proposal. I'll let you know which state is doing that. Plus, Social Security has just been funded for more years. Slightly good news there. I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So, Manchin's bipartisan energy talks crumble, paving way for Democrat-only deals. So what's going on here? So, bipartisan Senate energy talks led by Senator Joe Manchin are essentially over with Republican senators convinced that Manchin is close to a reconciliation deal with Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, according to people familiar with the matter. So, the death of the bipartisan approach will allow Manchin and Schumer to focus on a potential deal that includes green energy tax credits and tax increases to pay for them. But any deal will also need 49 other Senate Democrats, and any Senate package will also need to buy in from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and President Biden. So basically what's going on here is that Joe Manchin was trying to work with the Republicans to have this bigger deal, but because the Republicans think that Joe Manchin is getting another deal with Chuck Schumer, a reconciliation deal like the Build Back Better, that's why the Republicans don't want to work with Manchin anymore. So we're getting little breadcrumbs here and there of what's going on. Basically, what the Manchin's people said here, Senator Manchin continues to work with his bipartisan colleagues to find solutions that address our nation's climate and energy security needs. So I'll keep you updated what happens with that. As Biden takes massive approval rating hit, White House moves to act on inflation. So a couple days ago, President Biden put out his plan to stop inflation. Is it going to work? Here's a quick clip of President Biden speaking about that.
Record high today.
It's a record high. It could be higher, but we're able to keep it from going higher. But look, there's a lot to do. We're in a situation where, because of a war in Ukraine, gas prices and food prices are extremely high. For example, we got millions of tons of wheat that is not able to get out and get to market, causing everything from a loaf of bread to cost so much money to food shortages all across the world. And so we're trying to work through, a war. We're trying to work through how we can get that harbor open and get the tens of thousands of tons of grain that are there. The same with gasoline. You have the issue that's occurring now is you have Europe deciding that they're going to further curtail the purchase of Russian oil. And there's a whole lot of consideration going on about what can be done to maybe even purchase the oil, but at a limited price, so that it has to be sold. There'd be an overwhelming need for the Russians to sell it, and it would be sold at a significantly lower price than the market is generating now. There's a lot going on right now, but the idea we're going to be able to, click a switch, bring down the cost of gasoline is not likely in the near term, nor is it with regard to food.
President Biden admitting that there is not going to be a short-term solution, which means this could last months, potentially years. We don't know what's going to happen there. But in terms of when it comes to gas, looks like the U.S. is going to go back on a few different policies. So Biden likely to visit Saudi Arabia as U.S. gasoline prices spiral. So this new rekindled relationship with Saudi Arabia could change a lot of things on the geopolitical scale when it comes to what President Biden could do now about gas prices. Take a look at what the Republican Center has to say about that, plus Saudi Arabia. Take a look.
Well, some kind of sort of breaking news today. Saudi OPEC increasing oil production. My thought is, why don't we just do it ourselves? I guess that's way too easy. Joining me now to talk about it is our great friend, Senator John Barrasso, Republican Conference Chairman and ranking member of the Energy and Natural Resources Committee, coming back from Ukraine. So the Saudis are putting 200,000 more barrels, Saudi OPEC, 200,000 more barrels. It's nothing. Well, prices went up today. I'm sure you know this, but they went up $2 anyway, and they're running around just south of $120. So that and all these machinations about strategic petroleum reserve robbery, none of that's work. I mean, it ain't going to work until we start producing again. Senator, we are still about 1.5 million barrels a day short of where we were producing pre-pandemic. Still, today, with record high gasoline prices. How is that possible, sir?
Well, the president has said early on he wants to actually get rid of eliminating all fossil fuels in this country. That's been the position of this administration. And now, Larry, it seems they want to spend the next month traveling the country, he and his members of the cabinet, saying, hey, things are actually a lot better than you think they are. Well, people have paid the price all Memorial Day weekend. We're at all-time high prices. And the question is, who are they going to believe? Joe Biden talking at them or their own two eyes in their empty wallets? 3/4 of the American people believe the country is heading in the wrong direction. And you saw I had the Secretary of Interior, the Energy Committee. She would not admit that oil prices and gas prices were too high. You have the Secretary of Energy and the Secretary of Transportation say, hey, if you don't like the cost of gas, go buy an electric car. Look, people can't afford to buy gas or groceries, let alone an electric car. The American people have given up on this president because they know he is not competent to run the nation.
And he keeps making the same mistakes. Nothing changes. The inflation piece in the Wall Street Journal, there was no change in policy. I mean, the forgiveness tour, as I call it, Janet Yellen and all these people going around saying, you know, forgive me that we missed inflation for a year and a half. They didn't acknowledge their role in the inflation problem, you know, the root causes of overspending, over-regulating, and over-money printing. I just want to read real quickly Joe Manchin, Senator Manchin's statement on OPEC today, and I'll quote directly, I firmly believe the United States should never have to depend on other nations to provide the energy we can produce ourselves. Now, that's pretty pithy from the West Virginian. I just wondered, you know, he's a Democrat. Gee whiz, gosh. What's wrong with that? Why wouldn't President Biden go with that? We know it to be true. We have so many untapped resources. Why be so stubborn? Consumers and businesses are paying the piper for the stubbornness of this anti-carbon, anti-fossil fuel administration, Senator. I don't get it.
And instead of doing what you just described, President Biden looks like he's going to go hat in hand to Saudi Arabia, asking for them to produce even more energy on our behalf. Look, he has made a mess. The president has made a mess of foreign policy, energy policy. People have seen this all across the world, actually. And if he were going to go to Saudi Arabia, as it sounds like he wants to do, he should go in a position of strength. And the way you go in a position of strength is you say, we're going to do the oil and gas leases, we're going to give the permits to drill, and we're going to allow the infrastructure to get built so that we are, once again, as we were in this country when you left the White House, energy dominant. But that's not what this guy's going to do because he is so beholden to the radical, extreme climate elitists who are all around that White House and are staffing that White House. Look, the president's press secretary yesterday said the president there's a lot of crises around him. Well, Larry, these are ones the president has brought upon himself.
What are your thoughts on that? Should the U.S. work again with Saudi Arabia, have some type of oil partnership? Should the U.S. drill on its own soil again and become energy independent? Let me know your thoughts on all of that. So speaking of gas and things like that, New York joined growing number of states attempting to provide relief at the pump. So New York, as gas prices remain record high, New York has just suspended the gas tax. The suspension of the 16 cents per gallon tax runs from June 1st until the end of the year. So we got another 6 months or so, 6-7 months, that if you live in New York, you're going to get a 16 cents discount on your gas, 16 cents per gallon discount. And when it comes to other states doing this, so we have which U.S. states have suspended gas taxes. So here is the list right here. So we have Connecticut, which started on March 23rd, and it began in April, and it's supposed to go until mid-June. That's in Connecticut. And then Georgia, they have suspended the sales tax. So it is going, it ended on May 31st for Georgia. And then Florida is going to begin on October 1st. I think it's just the month of October. Maryland, they suspended it back in March 18th, and it only lasted 30 days, so no more Maryland there. And then New York, the latest one, started June 1st, and it's going to run until December 31st. And then a few other states are planning a bunch of different things, like California with the $400 checks per vehicle to maximum, and then Michigan as well, trying to do that. So a few states trying to do that. When it comes to stimulus news, so surprise stimulus check worth $2,000 for American households with specific income proposed. So this is the Pennsylvania $2,000 stimulus check. Still pushing for it, hasn't happened yet. And then the latest proposal here, so millions of Americans in line for $350 inflation checks. If proposal gets green light, see the qualifications. So this is the candidate in Ohio has announced her intention to send out $350 payments to fight inflation. So what's going on here, basically saying Ohioans are hurting right now, and that's why I'm proposing an inflation rebate of $350 per person or $700 per couple for middle-class Ohioans to offset high gas prices and other rising costs. Yeah, so that is what's going on in Ohio. Still at the proposal level, this would go out to more than 7 million Ohioans. So we'll see what happens there. I'll keep you updated on that. Let me know if you're in Ohio. Is $350 enough? Would you prefer $700 or $700 for couples? Should it be higher, like $2,000, just like in Pennsylvania? Let me know your thoughts on that. And when it comes to Social Security Fund will be able to pay benefits 1 year longer than expected. So what does this mean? So basically, Social Security Trust Fund, most Americans rely on for their retirement, will be able to continue to pay out benefits for a year longer than prior estimates. What does that mean? Is it going to end in a year? Is it going to be a year longer? Take a look at this video clip explaining more.
Now in the Social Security Trust Fund, Elon Moy with the details in Washington. Elon.
Well, Sarah, good news from the Treasury Department. It says Social Security will be able to pay full benefits through 2034. That's 1 year later than previously projected. Even better, Social Security disability insurance will be fully funded for the next 75 years, and Medicare Part A will last through 2028, 2 years longer than previously estimated. And Treasury officials said all of these programs still face long-term funding challenges, but called this outlook resoundingly positive. That improvement is the result of a stronger economy that's bringing in higher payroll and income taxes and a decline in disability rates. Sarah?
And so it's a change, right, Elon? It was supposed to be depleted in 75 years.
Yeah, that's the first time since 1983 that disability insurance will not be depleted within 75 years. And it really is just a testament to the surprisingly strong economic recovery.
That is good news. Elon, we'll take it. Thank you.
What are your thoughts on that? Should they, instead of extending Social Security, SSI, SSDI, should they just increase the payments and then figure out a way to pay for it for a longer time? Should they have the increase of $200 more per month? Let me know your thoughts on all of that. That is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. Do you like my stress ball? You squeeze it and then you feel better. So I'm gonna tell you one thing you should do. Do the things that you want to do because you only have one life. Do you know how I come up with all these good positive words? My mom and dad always do meditation, and it says a lot of positive words. So that's where I got the positive words for. So you guys can be happy, and I can be happy making these tip of the day for you. That's why I do that. It's Bella.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your time and support. If you want to check out any of my other videos, my other channels, you could click up here, subscribe for more straight to the point updates on a daily basis, and I'll keep you updated there. Yeah, so if you want to check out the latest video, click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.